Alright, let's be honest for a second. If you spent any amount of time looking at coloring books on Amazon recently, you've probably noticed something. Same animals, same flowers, same mandalas, same AI style, same thick outlines, like everyone is pulling from the same prompt and hoping for the best. And hey, there's nothing wrong with coloring books, they're still one of the hottest niches on KDP right now, but that comes with a downside. Competition skyrockets, everything starts blending together, and trying to stand out becomes a serious challenge. With that, most of these coloring books start looking the same, but this one is different because today I'm going to show you a coloring book niche that doesn't compete with those thousands of similar titles, yet it can still rank, still sell, and still build momentum for beginners and for even seasoned publishers. This niche is different. It has its own lane, its own audience, and its own search demand. And the best part, you don't need to draw, you don't need to hire an illustrator, and you don't need to spend weeks creating every page from scratch. So stick with me until the end because I'll show you exactly how to start building this book step by step using a method that removes 90% of the frustration people usually face when creating this type of coloring book. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds like you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, if we take a look at this coloring book, this is not your typical coloring book that you see on Amazon. This is what's called a color by number, or also known as a pixel color by number coloring book, and it's a little bit different than your usual coloring book. Now, this book, instead of having a image to color in, customers are going to have this pixel or this square that they're going to color in. Even the book belongs to page looks a little bit different, and if we actually check out the back cover here, you can see kind of what I'm talking about, where it's a grid of pixels or squares. You have a bank of colors right here designated by numbers and letters, and the grid or the squares have these numbers or letters in them. And then you just color accordingly. And as you can see, it will turn out into a full coloring image. Now, these books are a ton of fun for customers and they sell very, very well. If we look at this book, the bestsellers rank, this is a Christmas themed coloring book, currently ranked at 40,000. So 30-day royalties estimated from Titan's Quick View, anywhere from $400 to $600 per month. A great seasonal type of niche. Also just a great evergreen type of book. Here in the A+ content section, we can see more of the interiors so we can get an idea of the actual pages inside this book. As you can see, they're all made up of little squares, but once colored in, turn out to be a full colored image. So if we go ahead and take a look at a specific niche, this is called the Animals Color by Number Coloring Books. We see total results 2,693 and a niche score from Titan's Quick View 79. But when we look at the average bestsellers rank on the first page, very, very low at 43,000. Looking through the first page, here's a book right here ranked at 35,000. The book in the second ranking is ranked at 18,538, and the book after that is ranked at 151,000. And we see a lot of books here selling very well: 5,000, 73,000, 27,000, 28,000, 118,000, and so on and so forth. So you see just the type of potential there is. Likewise, this niche, also known as pixel art coloring book. So when making a search for Animals Pixel Art Coloring Book, total results drop down to just over 1,000, and the niche score still remains relatively high at 60. Times Pro Analysis, demand is a little bit better here at a 6. Opportunity is a 9. Now looking through the first page here, we're going to see similar books to the previous niche. This one is ranked at 29,000. This one right here ranked at 596,000. The next one, 35,000. This one right here, 118,000, 23,000, 300,000, 223,000, and this one, 77,000. A bestseller right here at 9,000, and so on and so forth. But you see a wide variety of rankings here, from very low rankings to books that have sold 1 or 2 times. However, this specific niche is going to be less competitive. So if you're looking for a new niche, you can definitely try this one called the Animals Pixel Art Coloring Book. Now, if we take a look at this example, this is called Pixel Perfect Cute Animals Mystery Mosaics, color by number, pixel art coloring book for adults and teens. Now, this book has a 4.2 out of 5 rating, so generally it's a good book, but there's going to be some places here to improve upon, and that will be our job to actually look to see where we can improve upon this book if we're going to compete in this niche. Priced at $9.99, 92 pages. So with royalties, it's about $3 in royalties per book sold. This one's gonna have 36 unique animal designs. So not a lot of pages overall, only 92 pages. Now looking at the interior, you can see the grid here with the numbers and the letters and corresponding with these colors right here. Once it's colored in, you can see the full colored image right here on the right, and then some more pages of the interior right here. Looking through the reviews, let's see where we can improve upon this. This one right here, waste of money. All spaces to color are tiny squares. Finished picture looks terrible. Spaces very small, very hard to color, very small numbers. So there's a pattern here with small boxes, small grids. So that's something that you can think about improving if you were to create a book in this niche, not to create such tiny of these squares, but think about making them a little bit bigger. When we scroll back up, we can see that this book with a ranking of 118,000 is estimated to be making around $100 to over $200 per month in royalties. If we look at another example, this is called 100 Animal Quest Color by Number. Going through the sample here, we can see here is the color palette. And then when we get to the first page, you can see it's just a grid. So this one, instead of squares, has a hexagon. And I've seen some with triangles and circles. But once completed, you can see right here what it should look like. So a very similar type of book, just different in that it doesn't use squares, instead uses a different shape. Now this book with a book ranking of 46,000 sees an estimated 30-day royalties of anywhere from almost $300 to over $400 per month. And that is probably attributed to the higher price point here of $11.99, although the print length is a little bit longer here at 204 pages. And some more of the interiors right here. So a wide variety of images, animals, different color patterns. But overall, this book is selling pretty well and is rated pretty well, 4.6 out of 5. And we see 80% is a 5-star. So definitely the interiors in this book seem to be a little bit higher quality than the previous example. Let's talk about the part that matters the most. How do you actually create a book like this without all the headache? Because here's the thing, the reason most coloring books look the same is because people are using the exact same tools, the same generic prompts, and they produce the same results. But color by number pages, they let you create coloring books with a unique twist that instantly stand out and feel more premium to customers. And the best part, you don't have to make any of the pages manually. Let me show you how simple it is. Now, in order to create these color by number pages, I'm going to use this color by number generator. Now, this is actually pretty simple to use. You have your book size here, your grid size. You can upload your images here one by one or even in bulk. And the great thing about this one is you can change the shapes, but let's go through this together. Now, choosing the book size, there's a bunch of book sizes to choose from, but I'm going to go with the 8.5 by 11 inch size. And we can always change this on the go. Now the grid size, I'll keep that to medium. And right here is where we're gonna choose our images. So a great way to find images for this color by number generator is to use Creative Fabrica. This is one of my most favorite resources because it's gonna give you an endless amount of images, artwork, and illustrations and templates to look from. Now I made a search here for animals vector, and I'm just gonna look through here for something that I think would work well for this generator. And what I noticed was it works very well with images that are very, very simple and very flat in design. For example, this animal vector icon set, it would work well with this one right here. But I actually found this one that I wanna try. This Christmas animals vector clip art design. So looking through this looks like it has a lot of potential. And so what I'm gonna do is download this and then just upload it into the generator. Now here is the download, and so I'm going to go to designs here, I'm gonna grab all of these, just drag them into the generator like this, and then you can see 4 files. Now I'm gonna keep everything here the same, and I'm just gonna hit create to see what it came up with. And as you can see, there it is right there. When I click on the original image, you can see there's the original image, and then here is the finished product. Now, it might not be perfect on the first try. No tool is perfect, but the great thing about this generator is I can go ahead and click right here on the pencil, and I can erase things, or I can color these pixels in with the color that I want. So for example, there's a green right here that I don't want, and I want to make it brown. So I'm going to look for the brown that I like. I think it's number 10. So I'm going to go here, choose number 10, click that in. And as you can see, it fixes it right up. So I see another part right here. I'm going to go ahead and fix this up, and not very hard at all. Now, when we look at the next image of the penguin, actually looks pretty good. I would only fix up right here in the eyes. So go ahead, I'm going to go black and go ahead and fix this up like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose the white, and I'm going to put a white just like that. And look at that, looks pretty good. Here's the next image. This one has a little bit of work, so I'm going to go ahead, choose the pencil and choose the blue that I think it is, number 6, and just fill these in right here. And it already starts looking better. And then image number 4 of the bear, as you can see, turned out pretty good. I'd probably only fix up the scarf right here. So if I go ahead and do that, I believe that is number 5, and then go ahead and clean this up. Let's choose the other dark green and go ahead and go around this. And then look at the original photo here. There are lines here, so we can go ahead and choose the white, and we can go ahead and put lines wherever we want. And then, as you can see, I cleaned it up. Not that hard, but let me show you a little bit more of this tool. Now we can go to detailed right here. You can see it even looks better than the medium, but the grids get a little bit smaller. You can even go simple right here. Grids get bigger. Stick to medium there. And then we can change the shape. So we can go to circle. We can go to triangle. Let's look at detailed. And then we could do hexagon. And then there's one more, the diamond. So a lot of versatility here. You can make books lots of different ways and not just stick with the square version. Now you have all of these other options right here that you don't really need to worry about. You have the stroke style right here. If I show you what this looks like, it just increases the lines for the grids. And then you can also change the color here. As you can see, I can just turn it white. But if we go back, let's put it back here. And then with the actual page that goes into your book, you can change the font around here as well as the font color. With this tool, you can download the colored version, this page that goes into your book, as well as this palette here that you can go ahead and put as your color palette. It's very easy to do this. You can just go ahead and download it right here. And with this download right here, we can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is arranging all of these pages together. And for that, I like to use Canva. So I'm going to create a custom size. I'm going to put 8.5 by 11 inches. Now, typically you're going to have a book belongs to page right here, but I'm just going to show you how to go ahead and drag and drop these pages so you can put them and arrange them together. So I'm going to add a page here. Now this is going to be the back side to this page. Now I'm going to put the color palette on this page. I'm going to go ahead and put the palette number 1 here. I'm going to add another page, and I'm going to put the puzzle right here. And as you can see, all you have to do is just increase the size, and there it is. And then with the color palette, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger, just put it somewhere in the middle like this. Now keep in mind, these grids might be small, so you can definitely go back to the generator and you can choose something more simple like a medium grid, which might look a little bit better. You could even do a simple grid, which is going to be even easier. But just keep in mind to go ahead and make changes to these grids and these colors so that they look better. Now with the next one, just drag the palette here. Number 2, go ahead and make it bigger, put it in the middle. Now with the next page, and this one is going to be a more simple version. As you can see, the grids are a lot bigger here. And that's really all you do. You just go ahead and drag and drop these, arrange them just like this. Ideally, you'd have about 100 pages, This one's 101. And to save the interior, so it's ready for KDP upload, you just share, download it as a PDF print. You can flatten the PDF, choose all pages, and then choose CMYK if you're paying for Canva Pro. But if you're just using the free version, you can use RGB and then hit download. Then all you need to do is create a cover and your book will be ready to be uploaded fully onto KDP. Now there's a whole lot more to this process than just what you see here. So if you want to learn the entire step-by-step process of how to create and upload your KDP book, go ahead and download my free KDP royalty roadmap. I'll leave the link in the description down below. And that's how you create a coloring book that doesn't look like everything else on Amazon. A book that actually stands out, adds value, and gives you a unique angle instead of competing in the same saturated niches everyone else is fighting over. If you want to check out the color by number generator yourself, I've linked it in the description down below. Just remember, the version I used in this video is the highest tier, so the lower ones won't include some of these features, but even the basic tools can be a great starting point if you're testing the waters. And of course, if you're new to KDP, you can download my free KDP royalty roadmap in the description down below. It'll guide you step by step through creating your first or low medium content book the right way. If this video helped you see what's possible, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.